guys, and welcome back to the Lazy Girl's Kitchen. My name is Maggie, and on today's episode I'm going to share with you how I like to make my granola. Now, I have a nut allergy, so my granola is very limited as far as like the chunky ingredients go. So I like to make sure that I load up my granola with lots and lots of flavor. So let me take you through the list of ingredients. So to substitute for the lack of stuff that I put into it, I like to add tons of flavoring into my granola. So what you're gonna need is some salt, some butter, some vanilla extract, some coconut oil, some chocolate chips. I like to use semi-sweet, you use whatever you like, some craisins. In this little bowl I have some brown sugar, some cinnamon, some nutmeg, some honey, and then of course some old-fashioned rolled oats. So the first thing you want to do before we go any further is you're going to preheat your oven to 325 degrees, and then you're going to take a baking pan or a baking sheet, like a cookie sheet, and you're just going to line it with some parchment paper. Now into my big mixing bowl or medium-sized mixing bowl, I'm going to add in my what are these called? Oats. I'm having a major brain fart today. My oats, and then just my craisins, and a pinch of salt. And I'm just gonna toss them with my spatula. All right, I'm gonna set this aside, and now we're gonna work on the wet ingredients. So into my pot, I'm gonna add my butter. Oh, I have a little piece of thing on here. Let me take that off. Now you want this on really low heat, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna brown the butter. So I like to use like a pot where I can actually see the color of the butter. That way I know that it's browning. All right, and I'm gonna take my ceramic whisk, and we're just gonna babysit the butter just to make sure that it doesn't burn, but that it browns beautifully. All right, so this is gonna take a few minutes, so I'm gonna watch the butter, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's there. So my butter is nice and melted, and it's starting to turn like a honey golden color, so this is good enough for me. So now I'm gonna add in our coconut oil. Give this a nice stir. We're gonna add in our vanilla extract. Vanilla has alcohol in it, that's why. And then the brown sugar mixture. And you're gonna keep stirring this because you don't want it to burn, and you're gonna keep this on low heat the whole time. And now we're gonna add in our honey. All right. Don't panic if it looks like it's separating. It's fine. It's gonna all come together, I promise you. It's just because we have the coconut oil in here. So that's why it looks like that. All right, so I'm gonna leave this to cook for 1 second on low, and I'm gonna put in my honey. So this is my trick for honey. You don't have to use it because it does require extra oil. I take olive oil and I spray it in my my measuring cup, and I put in my honey here, and look, it's just gonna come. Oh, it didn't work this time. Oh, it does. I thought it didn't work, but it does. It just glides right out. See? I mean, you have to help it along a little bit, but for the most part, it just comes right out. Right, I'm gonna keep stirring this for the next few minutes, and then I'll show you what the mixture should look like when it's all set. Okay, so my wet mixture is nice and combined. As you can see, it's all nice and smooth. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add it to my dry ingredients. Just take a little, make sure everything gets out. I'm gonna give these a nice toss, make sure everything is nicely coated in the wet ingredients. Oh, it smells so good. I use this on a daily basis. I put it in my yogurt. I eat it with plain cereal. I just take it to snack on, and it's delicious. Finish it up with this. Okay, so now that everything is nice and incorporated, I'm gonna put this on my baking sheet. Let me just move you so that you can see the baking sheet. There we go. and I'm going to put it in a single layer. So just take your spatula and just work it to just spread it out the best you can. The thinner you get it, the crunchier it will be. So okay, so I'm going to put this into my preheated oven for 10 minutes, and then I'll show you what we're going to do next. So my granola was in the oven for 10 minutes. So now I took it out, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give this a rough toss. Just to kind of, oh crud. There we go. Ouch. Burnt my finger. All right, there we go. Give this a nice toss. There we go. Now this will prevent your granola from getting like sticky and soggy and help it get nice and crispy. So I'm gonna once again just layer it out. Trying to make the layers as small as possible. There we go. All right, I'm gonna put this back into the oven for another 10 minutes, and then we're gonna do the same thing again 10 minutes later. Okay, so my granola was in the oven for an additional 10 minutes, sorry. So I'm gonna give this another nice stir. And don't panic if it seems like it's not getting crispy. It's gonna crisp up, but you have to remember right now, it's soaking in all the flavors of the juices that we put into it. So the longer you let it cool, the crispier it will get. There we go. Give this a nice stir. Okay. All right, so this is going to be the last 10 minutes that we're going to cook it. Actually, let's be adventurous and cook it for 12 minutes. So in 12 minutes, I'm going to take this out and I'm going to let this cool for 5 minutes before I do anything to it. And then I will show you how we're going to finish this off. Okay, so my granola was out of the oven for about 5-6 minutes, and I'm just letting it cool completely so that it gets super nice and crunchy. Don't panic if it sticks a little, just kind of give it a scrape. So I'm gonna add in my chocolate chips. So that way, as it's cooling, the chocolate chips are gonna combine with the granola. I'm gonna give it a toss. Okay, but let me get you up here so I can see you better. There you guys are. All right, so once it cools completely, I'm gonna put it into this container and then it'll stay in here for about a week or two. I usually go through the whole thing in about a week because I just eat it as a snack. I eat it in my oatmeal, I eat it in yogurt, in cereal, whatever. So I go through it pretty quickly. But like I said, you could keep it in a Ziploc baggie, anything that's an airtight, you'll be fine. But I'm actually just gonna give this a taste because I do let this cool for quite a bit, but I just want to try it. I'm gonna try all the pieces. So good. It's starting to get crispy. I don't know if you can hear it, but even though I don't have a nut in here or anything like that, it's still really delicious. All of the flavors that I put into it, like the spices and the sweetness, it's perfect. I could just eat this as is. I won't, but I could. Alright, so I'm gonna let this cool. I'm gonna put it away and I'll see you guys next time. But make sure you subscribe and give me a big thumbs up, and head over to thelazygirlskitchen.com to get the written recipe. Sorry. And I'll see you later. Bye.